Hey, Bill, how's it going?
Hey, not too bad, man. Not too bad. We got lots of stuff going on up here in California. And how are things going for you down in Florida there?
It's been cold. It's been cold.
Well, that plays to your hand because that slows your prey down substantially because they're all cold-blooded, right?
Very true, very true. But as a northerner who lives in the South, these cold nights with the fan in the window are wonderful. So
I can
I'm,
just see those. I can just see those iguanas trying to run away from Pat. They're like, "Oh no,
it's pretty much
it's
what happens.
Patrick!"
Or they just fall out of the tree on you and go, oh, because that happens too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that,
It's
that
been brisk, but during the day it's quite sunny and it's normal Florida, but I'm still running around in a t-shirt and shorts and I give myself away. So they're like, you're not from here because they're wearing snowsuits almost down here.
yeah,
But
down parkas with the hood pulled up and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Other than that, everything's doing well. Can't complain. Having fun, enjoying the sun.
That's good. That's good. So you're actually working on some interesting developments on the legitimization of the iguana hunting trade down there, which I think
Hmm.
is a great place for you to be. I'm thrilled that hopefully you're inserting yourself in that process to bring a level of legitimacy. Um, there's some there's some folks doing that work that um, quite frankly, I wouldn't wouldn't engage them in a business that was for protecting my property at all.
Hmm.
So I think the Wild West era of the iguana hunting in Florida might be getting some much needed growth and development.
Yeah, yeah. You got, when this all started years ago, it was like a free for all. They were trying to figure it out, the FWC down here, and now that it's grown and it's starting to be really noticed by hunters around the country and around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there needs to be some regulation in it, and then doing it as a business, as I do, and all the legitimate businesses that have registered with the state of Florida. We carry insurance. We're liable and accountable for what we do. Fair and just rates, all of the above. Um, it's not regulated right now, but it looks like it's going to start going that way, and I'm for it.
I
You
mean,
have
I'm never one for the government getting involved in anything. I think
I
every time they do, it generally adds a lot of complexity and cost that is perhaps unwarranted. But in this particular instance, it's like hunting licenses, and the regulatory nature of that tends to vet people to some extent. I mean, there's still lots of yahoos out there
correct.
with hunting licenses, but at least at least creating some delineation between a guy who just went out and bought an air gun and he's now chasing iguanas around in the wild in Florida versus somebody who legitimately has an insurance carrier behind them and has crossed all of the T's, dotted all the I's, and is a legitimate business entity. I think that's healthy. And I, for one, I would, if I was going to Florida to hunt iguanas, I would be happy to pay a non-resident iguana tag. I mean, 25, $30 for that to me is money well spent if that money goes to
Correct.
supporting wildlife management. I'm okay with that. But I, yeah, I think that is a business that would definitely benefit from some level of regulation. Probably an unpopular thing for me to say, but hey, you know what? I'm the guy who loves to say unpopular things, I guess.
Well, I mean, when I was up in Ohio, I had to have a permit, a license, if you would, from the ODNR, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, in order to do my varmint business up there. And it just, you need to know the laws when, when you're dealing with bats or geese or whatever, so that you're doing the job right.
Were you
Um,
were you 009?
that I was,
Oh
yeah. But
crap!
down
Now you
here,
talked about it. I'm going to be next on the list.
yeah, this snipe everything. That's what I say. No,
Yeah.
but I mean, when down here, like when you go and get jobs and stuff, like one of the laws down here is if you shoot across someone's property and you don't have permission, that's technically trespassing by projectile. I mean, you're always responsible for where your round goes, your projectile goes, but it's actually trespassing down here with your pellet. And you can't go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. But then you start getting into some of the accounts I've gone to where there's damage on the stucco. A pellet hits the stucco on a house, it makes a pretty good size hole. Windows, things like
Depending on
that.
the billet and what's behind it. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So it's things like that, and I don't want a lot of government, but you got these fly by night people that are not good, and it's actually dangerous. They come in, they ask exorbitant amounts of money, and then they leave, or they don't do the job, and you pay them, and it's like I think it's just a little bit of vetting is really what needs to be done. Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens. It needs to be done right. I don't want big government. I don't ever like big government.
I know, but I mean, even if
I'm
you're
with you.
if you're a contractor working on somebody's house,
Hmm.
knowing that that contractor is coming to you with a valid license and the
Correct.
insurances and everything else gives you at least a little bit of confidence that he might not screw you all that quickly. It might take a little while, but
Correct. I mean, I have to do all of that for the cities that I have
right.
and any government agencies that I like to get into. The Air Force bases. I'll just say the military bases down here would be nice to do birds and iguanas and whatnot. But you need to be vetted, background checked, proper insurance, all of the above, um, to even get on the base or the government property. So, something like that, just checks and balances kind of thing. Because there's a
Very
lot of us that are really good at what we do and we enjoy it. And,
well, I'll tell you,
we,
I'm looking forward to my next iguana extermination vacation to Florida because that was a heck of a lot of fun.
it was.
I had a magical time getting to live out that image of myself as a sniper striking from a distance with my trusty Mark One crown.
You know what? It smacked them at a long distance and it was quite accurate. So it doesn't matter what you have,
Oh yeah.
it just needs to be dependable and accurate. That's pretty much it. And the rule with this, short of being having fun and not being last, is have fun and make sure you hit your target. Those are the two things. And know your backstop. There's a third one.
Well,
So,
that goes back to the foundational rules of firearm safety, which you could call it the foundational rules of projectile uh,
mhm.
usage. I mean, it doesn't have to be limited to firearms, but it's particularly prudent there where you've got lethal force. But even even creating an injury or an unwanted damage to something is still crucial there. But yeah, I'm glad that you're at the forefront of that and you're trying to make a difference there. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, there's a group of us. So yeah, and then the other thing, so I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but I ended up getting a part-time day job
Whoa,
besides shooting iguanas.
whoa, you traitor!
Well, no, I
I'm
call it
kidding.
more of
I'm
infiltrating the retail side and bringing education with a live airgun geek here in Florida. I ended up picking up a gig working with a gentleman that we interviewed, Joel
yep,
Weiss from Palm Beach Airguns.
yep.
So they were looking for someone, and I said, you know what? I got some time. I'd be happy to come down and help you, and I call her Miss J, uh, and him and his lovely partner, and get things done. And it has been so much fun. Um,
I
I
hear
am
you. I hear you're rocking the Noto sale counter there.
you know what? No toasts are like a condiment. You buy an impact, you buy a raw, you buy an RTI, get a no toast. Throw a little sprinkle of little no toasts on there, and we're sold out. I had to call. I was dubbed the task of calling Umrex and saying, "Hey, we need no toasts." So we ordered a whole bunch, and then Joel and I started talking, and I think we might put something together. I don't know what we'll call it, the Iguana package, the Iguana Slayer I don't know, but it's going to be a collaboration between the Airgun Geeks and Palm Beach Airguns, because everyone I use a no-toast 99% of the time to shoot these guys.
Yep.
And Bill's seen me. I'm like a little ninja running around while pellets are flying over my head for the long range attacks and artillery rounds. You know, it's a great little gun. Now, I've modded the crap out of it. I finally put one of them Huma power regulators on it. I took my old Air Max, was it a 300cc carbon fiber tank, threw that on there. I got your doodad on there to hold extra mags, and I'm rocking an immersive optic from Immersive, and it is just a tack driver.
Nice.
Also, with your fancy trigger, that's one of a kind.
Two,
That
and there's two
two
of
of a
them.
kind.
Actually,
Well,
no, there's three. There's three.
only
Technically.
the geeks have them because,
Yeah.
I mean, we all know about liabilities and stuff, but I really appreciate that because people shoot mine, Bill, and they're like, "Oh, could I get that?" I go, "I'm sorry, no." There's too much liability in that, but that is the smarts, the engineering side of the Target Forge side of Airgun Geeks. What I mean is that is Bill in there tweaking, printing, tweaking some more because I think what was mine like sixth, seventh generation to get it just right.
Yeah.
And I think it's like 8 ounces every single time. And the safety, because he had to build that up, it doesn't move. It's perfect. It's still holding up. So I absolutely love it. Um, so that's exciting. So we're going to build those. We'll have a couple different packages and whatnot, because you don't need a lot to go shoot iguanas. And most of the time, the farthest we've been is 40 yards, but 90% of the time it's 20 to 30 yards.
Mhm.
And you get gobs of shots. I mean, if you stay original, you're what, 30 shots, and then you can put as much money as you want into them. You don't have to go crazy. And just have tons of fun. I mean, heck, you got Buckrail. God, how many parts does Buckrail make for the no-toast alone?
Oh yeah.
It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
So doing stuff like that. And, if you haven't gone to Palm Beach Air Guns, definitely check them out. It's a great, I call it a mom and pop shop.
Hmm.
There's 2 chairs in there. You could sit and BS, have some fun, look at all sorts of stuff.
When I was there, Pat, I noticed a flaw in your plan.
Mhm.
There was no coffee there, Pat.
I am working. So you know me, and those of you that know me when I worked at Pyramid Air, um, I'm a shitster. I don't know how else to word it. I went in there and I was like, "Hey, we need to put shelving up here to hold the used guns over here. We need to get rid of this and move this, and let's do that, and let's emphasize room. We got to have a little bit of an IKEA mindset in here." And where's the coffee?
Wait a minute. You're going to name things with names nobody can pronounce? Is that what you're
Um,
doing with
well,
this IKEA thing? Because I don't agree with that, Pat.
we'll use Florida words down here.
Okay. All right.
Little
Well,
Creole.
if you're going
But
to offer Swedish meatballs, I'm on board.
well, I don't know. We might have a hot dog Wednesday or something. I don't know. We're trying to figure out some things. Yeah. But yeah, I mean the shops, I found so much stuff there. I mean, heck, he even sells firearms and suppressors. It's the higher end stuff. It's pretty cool stuff. But yeah, it's pretty neat. He's got a lot of stuff.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun, definitely.
I have been on a bit of a renaissance adventure lately, Pat.
Oh yeah.
I I have been I've been like back to my roots with the Crosman pumpers.
Oh.
And for those that haven't heard the story, my first air gun was a 760, and I was a little nostalgic, I think, for that experience. And I got to say, I I kind of like it. I mean, I've got really good, crazy PCP air guns that can do an amazing job with tremendous energy, great accuracy, all of that stuff. But there's something about the simplicity of a pumper. And when I compare the pumper to the spring air gun, the spring air gun is generating all of its energy at the instant you pull the trigger. So there's things to be learned there. It's going to teach you to be a great marksman. I've got no qualm there. But the pumper, you've got to pump it up, put that energy in. But when you take the shot, the energy is already generated. So there's not a lot going on. So it gives you some of the nuance of a PCP, but you've got to put elbow grease in to get your projectile to move. But um, through some frugal trading, uh,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I picked up a C362 from Pat,
Mm-hmm.
which I I immediately need to do a bunch of work on that gun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the plastic breech. I don't like the feel of the plastic stock. So it's going to get a major working over on the Target Forge channel here coming up. But the real story is about the C2023, which is fundamentally the same gun in essence,
Mm-hmm.
except it's the anniversary edition of that gun. Comes with a beautiful wood stock,
Mm-hmm.
got a little medallion in the Monte Carlo portion of the stock, the cheek rest, to signify its significance. There's a limited number of them. There's only 2023 of them being made or have been made, past tense. And I wanted that gun so bad. And Pat was like, "Whoa, pump the brakes there, cowboy." They're not known for accuracy. The 2023 had issues. Some of them did with accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Yeah.
like, Pat, I want one of those guns. I'm a Crosman fanboy, right? I mean,
Plus, you're a wood stock kind of guy too.
I am very
Yeah,
much.
got a good stock on it.
I love the feel of a really nice piece of wood. It definitely ticks that box.
Mm-hmm.
So when you and I were at the PA Cup 2024, I bet heavy on that with my raffle tickets, and
You did.
I freaking won one, right? And
Yes, you did.
you could have pushed me over with a feather. I was so happy. Um, so I get that gun back here to California, and I'm I'm shooting the two side by side. I've got the 362 with traditional open sights,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got the anniversary edition with the really nice Williams peep sight. Pat, I have shotguns that pattern better
Mm-hmm.
than that really expensive C2023. And I'm not trying to knock Crosman here. I mean, every manufacturer has their issues.
Mm-hmm.
How they respond to it is what really makes a difference to me, to this guy.
I
So
agree. I agree.
I I was I was going through the traditional route of diagnosing the issue with that gun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, is this a barrel cleaning issue? Nope. Clean the barrel. Is there a loose screw somewhere? No, everything's tight. It just doesn't shoot well. So I got on the phone with customer service at Crossman, and I'll tell you what, Pat, I had the most delightful lady helping me on the phone that day. And I said, "Ma'am, I won this gun. I don't have proof of purchase or any of that stuff. If you're looking for me to legitimize my warranty, I don't have it. I won this gun at the PA Cup. I don't. I don't have anything. I said, but I'm pretty sure there may be something up with this barrel. She said, well, why do you think it's the barrel? I said, well, I put a chronograph on it, and it's actually pretty darn good from a chronograph perspective. It's producing the same velocity every time. But when I look at my groups, and Pat, I'm talking about groups at 12 yards. My groups were on the order of 3 inches, 3.5 inches
Jeez.
at 12 yards. That's how ugly that was. It didn't matter what pellet I put in there, they all really stunk up the room. And I was like, man, maybe it's this peep sight. Maybe I can't shoot this gun well. So I put a scope on it and I did it again. Same thing. I mean, exactly the same size group. I'm like, no, there's something wrong with this barrel. So when I get on the phone with Lady, I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I've chased this. The power plant is doing what it's supposed to do. I'm getting good regulation on each shot. Not regulation, but good metering on every shot. So I don't think there's anything wrong there, but I'm suspicious of the barrel. She says, well, let's get you one of those and see if that helps you. So Pat, I get this barrel, right? And I'm right here in the Airgun Geeks bunker, West Coast style. And I'm running patches through the two barrels because now I've taken the gun apart and I've got the original barrel and I've got this new one. Well, when I run the felt wad through the new barrel, I'm getting distinct lines on that cotton where the rifling is. I'm like, wow, I'm not getting that on the original barrel at all. So then I'm like, well, I want to push a pellet through these two and see what the difference is there. So I grab the new barrel, the replacement, and I push a pellet through there, and I'm looking at the pellet, and it's gorgeous, right? The pattern of the rifling is perfectly symmetrical. It's very even. It's definitely engaging and giving me a good twist going down that barrel on the new barrel. I pushed the pellet through the original barrel, and this is what really cracked me up. And I'm not knocking Crosman. The customer service experience I received was absolutely top level. And for a gun that, I couldn't even prove that I legitimately owned, they didn't care. They just wanted me to be happy. I pushed the pellet through the original barrel, and starting at the breech, it pushed really easy. And I had the barrel kind of tilted down. And as I'm pushing the pellet, it gets to the like 1/3 mark down the bore, and the pellet literally fell the rest of the way through the barrel. And I'm like, all right, I think I know what my problem was.
There's the problem. Oh my God.
There was no indentation or mark at all on that pellet on the skirt or the head. So, obviously the bore was too big on this barrel when it went through the processes. It's unfortunate it didn't get caught. And I know that, based on your recon into the forums and stuff, that there was a somewhat that particular gun was an issue with the barrels, or at least there was an error with accuracy.
Yeah, it was about accuracy. It's like, I think it came out that it was the barrels.
Yeah, well, it definitely was in my case, but bravo to Crosman for not screwing around, getting me one in the mail. I dropped it in the gun, absolutely transformed it. It became an absolute tack driver. In fact, I would love to bring that to Florida when we go, just so that, or my modded 362, just to see if we can take some iguana with that, because it is really, really accurate. And Pat, we have an event out here every month at my local range in Scotts Valley, California, called Silent Night. And it's where, because the range has to close at 5 for noise, because I'm in California. they allow us to have reduced sound 22s and air guns for this night event. It's
Hmm.
literally the only night event that happens there. And then we all go out to dinner afterwards and tell war stories, and it's really fun. But um, so I took that gun after the new barrel was in it, um, and we have a tradition at this shoot where we put up these huge wooden racks and literally line them with waste cat food cans and
Hmm.
and the lids, like stand the lids up on the tab, the pull tab, and then everybody gets behind the firing line, and then we unload with air guns and quiet 22s on literally hundreds of tin cans. That whole night, Pat, I went through darn near half a tin of pellets. I only missed one shot with that gun.
Wow.
And I that was on me because I was actually playing around with what my holdover was, and
Hmm.
I was I just couldn't miss with that Crosman. So, the story here is the transformation of, not overreacting and being unhappy that I got a bad product, but giving the company a chance to remedy
Hmm.
that. And I'll tell you, I actually wrote a letter to Crossman. And I said, you know what, guys, I know there's lots of intrigue and uproar about Crossman moving and going through some painful things from a business perspective. But if this is your customer service, if this is the experience that
Hmm.
you can expect, I don't understand why your company's not performing, because to me, this was absolutely the repair I was looking for a gun that I really wanted. I mean, how long I lusted after one of
Oh
those.
yeah.
And to get one and then not have it shoot well was, not the best, but to get one and fix it with Crossman's help was absolutely transformative for me. And I've got way too many Crossman air guns as it is, and they'll, if they keep around and they keep doing what they're doing, they're going to be more of them here rather than less of them. And I know it is kind of expensive for a Crossman. I mean, I think if you go buy one, they're like just under $400 now.
Correct. Yeah.
um but my gosh, if you get one that doesn't shoot well, maybe call Crossman, get a barrel for it, because it it will it will shoot well if you give it, because Crossmans are very, very simple guns, simple to work on, simple to get parts for. Um, Absolutely worth the investment. But yeah, I wanted to share that experience because I know some airgun companies can be challenging
Hmm.
when it comes to um, that portion of the customer experience where you're not happy with the performance and you need to get it fixed. Um, she offered to bring the gun back to New York and fix it, and I was like, I honestly, I'd rather you just send me the barrel, let me do that, because I'm like Pat. I don't like people working on my stuff.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you.
I want to be that guy. If anybody's going to get blamed for it not working afterwards, it's going to be on me. But no, it was a beautiful experience, and reaffirmed my desire to buy another Crossman in the future. Granted, technically I didn't really buy this one; I won it, but um, I'm looking forward to this build on the 362, the C362. I think that's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. And I'm just waiting on parts. The guy that I ordered the parts from, who I'm not going to mention here on the podcast, is a bit of a curmudgeon. And I've been waiting since September. It's now December.
Mm.
I still don't have parts. So I've got to decide what to do there. Although a very good friend of mine did send me another steel breech so that I can at least start that build on the 362 when that arrives. And thanks to Pat for that, because
Yeah. No problem. I knew I had it somewhere because when you were here, I was like, I have one. But then I had to clean out the garage and I was like, there it is.
mhm,
So drop that off.
very
And Yep. So, and then coming to you, you got a little surprise coming. That's packed in with. So we'll see what you
Very
think
nice.
of it.
We'll have to talk about that in the Christmas episode coming up. But
Correct.
Pat, we've got a really interesting guest this week.
We do.
It's an interview that we did at RMAC 2024. And I had actually originally talked to Rolf at IWA in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that in my head when he and I did that interview, and I was talking like we were still at IWA. And, that's just my my old brain not catching up with what's currently going on. But Rolf was he was a joy to talk to and a heck of a lot of fun to watch. AirTac Hunting is his channel on YouTube, so do check that out. And let's get to that interview, Pat. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan. Sounds
All
good.
right. Let's go. Hey, Airgun Geeks family. We've got some exciting news to share with you today. We're thrilled to announce our new partnership with some of the biggest names in the outdoor world. Airgun Depot, Cabela's, and Bass Pro Shops. This partnership means that when you use our special links to shop at these stores, it won't cost you a penny more, but it directly supports the Airgun Geeks podcast. We're really proud to be working with these outdoor giants, and it's all about helping us bring you the best coverage of the airgun world. So next time you're gearing up for your next outdoor adventure, remember to use our links. You'll be supporting us and helping keep the content you love coming. Airgun Geeks, I've got a guest today that you are absolutely going to love. I've got Rolf from South Africa. Some of you will know him from some previous South African YouTube rock stars. That he is going to share with us his story, where his roots are, and where he's headed in the airgun world. So we're here, Iwa. We're here at RMAC 2024, and take it away, Rolf. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. I started my airgunning at a very young age with, brake barrels, camos, and all those things in the backyard. And I was playing golf with my friends and stuff, which I'm not very good at. I was enjoying it, but getting a bit frustrated about the game. And I thought I need to do something that I really enjoy. And
well, golf is for people who haven't found air guns yet.
Exactly. So I thought about, I'm enjoying golf, but not a lot because it's very frustrating to me. And I thought, what am I good at? What was something that I enjoyed when I was little that I would like to do now? And air guns immediately came up into my mind because that is what I enjoyed in the backyard when I was young. And I started researching all this stuff on the internet. I found Matt Dubber's channel and started seeing
He's big.
Yeah, sure. Talking about Matt Dubber.
Figure a guy who does YouTube would be more understanding of somebody who's filming YouTube content. Oh, sorry.
But it's a nice plug-in. So yeah, I found Matt's channel and I started researching into airguns and quickly found out that an FX airgun, especially the FX Wildcat, is something that I'm really interested in. And I bought I sold my golf clubs. I made the decision, okay, I'm going to stop doing this because
Excellent choice, by the way.
I can't spend all my time on my hobby. So I sold my golf clubs, used that money towards buying the FX Wildcat. Met a few people in the airgun community in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And I always had a passion for filming as well with cameras and stuff. And then I started going to the range on weekends where we had little blinking targets, just having fun and things like that.
Yeah.
And the airgun shop where I bought my airgun, my Wildcat from, asked if I could film some stuff for them that they can put up onto their screens in their shop to show people what we do. So I started doing that and also uploaded it to YouTube just as fun because it's easier to upload it there and then share it from there. And somehow Matt found that, started watching that, and then contacted me and said, yes, I really like what
It's YouTube that actually connected
us. So Matt contacted me and said, yes, he really likes what we do and he would like to introduce me to the guys from Sweden and show them what we're doing there. Because at that stage, everybody had either an Impact, a Dreamline, or a Wildcat, or some sort of FX gun, and all the benches were at that range every Saturday morning were just lined up with air guns. There were some other brands as well, but the majority of them being FX. And then, yeah, Sweden really liked what it saw, and the YouTube career just took off from there, especially when Matt started sharing the content and having all that stuff. And soon afterwards, got a call from Sweden saying that they would like to sponsor the channel, and yeah, it went on from there. So,
Holy cow.
and then it just grew, and it's just something so much fun that we do. I mean, we all enjoy it. Later on, my wife got involved, my friends, everybody joining the channel.
And I want to say, it really is a disservice to the American air gunner that you didn't bring her with you.
Well, somebody's got to watch the kids at home, and that's a problem. So next year, maybe I'll watch the kids and she'll come over here.
It's a selfish comment about she's a beautiful woman and you're a lucky man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, she would really love to come, but yeah, as I said,
I hear you.
kids are in the school.
Yeah.
We also don't live very close to our parents so that they can watch the kids. So it's just a logistical nightmare at the moment.
Oh, sure.
But hopefully next year it'll fall in our school holidays. We can take the kids to the parent and then she can come with. Or, as I said, she can come and I will stay and watch the kids, because I really think she would also enjoy it over here.
And from what I've seen, she's quite a shooter.
Oh, she's better than me.
You could very easily come
I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. She's a better shot.
Wow.
She's so stable on the reticle. She does the wing calls perfectly. I had to teach her in the beginning a little bit what to do, but she catched up like that, like so quick. And now I don't have to show anything. There's moments now where I film, and I would film something about the gun, talk about the gun or something, and she would disappear with the other gun, like waiting for me. Come on, I've got a shot, come film.
My God.
Or I would just hear the shot go off and, you know, the pop sound go off, and she's doing everything on her own. Really enjoying it, and I sometimes have to fight to get shots in.
So, the two of you compete in South Africa?
Not really. I'm not really a competitive person. I more enjoy the camaraderie of air gunning and and the hunting part of it. So for me, competing is not something that I chase. To be honest, RMAC is the only competition I'll do a whole year. It's the only target I shoot a whole year. So yeah, it's not a big, competing in that sense is not a big passion for me. I'd rather be out there hunting on a farm, you know, doing that type of thing.
So I'm sure you're acutely aware of your standing right now in bench press. Share with us where you are in the ranking.
I've got no idea. I haven't even checked. That's what I said. Competition shooting is not my thing. So for me, RMAC, all of this is fun and I enjoy shooting the target stuff. But for me, it's just being with all the people here.
I did this morning and I thought you were like right around the middle of the pack.
Oh, yeah. I got a real bad heat yesterday at heat 1 with all the wind, and I was right on bench 20. It was horrible.
Well, the Airgun Geeks have a rule.
Yeah.
When we compete, there's only 2 criteria you have to meet.
Okay.
And that is have fun.
Yep.
And don't be last.
Yeah. No.
As long as you hit those 2 things, you're great. You had a great time.
No, that's the point of it. This is, and the thing you get here is everybody's helping each other and everybody is, you know, together and being friendly, and stories being told, and that's the fun part for me. That's a part I enjoy. The competing, not so much. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
It's not something I do on a regular basis. As I said, this is the first card I shoot this whole year. I don't do this type of thing, but I still enjoy it. I still enjoy coming out here and meeting everybody, because it's a great get-together thing. But as far as competing in South Africa, we don't really do it there.
So what's the future for Roelf in the airgun world? Where do you see yourself?
Just enjoying it, basically, and keeping the hobby going and introducing other people to the hobby, showing them what these airguns are capable of, and how much fun is it out there and how much it brings people together. That's what I enjoy about it. That's what I want to portray in my videos. That's why I have so many friends come on the channel. That's why I include my wife, my kids, everybody. I want to include everybody into it and show that everybody can do it.
Excellent.
If you're 10 years old, if you're 35-year-old woman or whatever, it doesn't matter. Everybody can do it and everybody can enjoy it. And that's the beauty of air guns. It's recoil free, it's accessible to everybody. It's not scary. It's, it's easy to use. So it's
Cool.
fun.
What about from a business standpoint? Where do you see the future for Roelf? And
Well, at the moment, I'm just doing YouTube. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys were aware, we were about to move to the USA. That was all set up. And that plan fell through with the whole FX USA thing that went on. So at the moment, we're reassessing everything, just working very closely together with FX Sweden on some projects and developing the guns and some stuff going on there. Some awesome stuff coming, by the way. I can't share right now.
understood.
But yeah, so that's
But the
the.
important thing to note here is that there's super secret stuff going on.
Oh, you guys have
gonna be
no
really cool.
idea what's.
Yeah,
It's going to be overwhelming in a few months or so. It's going to be crazy.
I like having
So-
my blown.
Yeah, you know how Frederick is. Don't put Frederick in a box. The man goes ballistic. So that's also for the industry as well. It's even with everything that happened with FX USA and stuff, that just ignited a fire that's gonna blow everybody away. So yeah,
Excellent.
got some cool benches stuff coming, some awesome plans. It's gonna be crazy,
so
crazy
cool.
stuff.
Now you were on the injured reserve list there for a while.
Oh yeah, so I had a massive injury on my knee, which was just a freak accident. We were basically on a little getaway on the beach. We had a little cottage that we rented there, and there was little stairs going down to the beach. It was a Sunday morning. It was a little damp outside. Walked down the stairs. Maggie was in front of me, and my left foot slipped down the stairs. That slipped down the stairs, and the right foot stayed on top. Tip of my shoe caught a aluminium ledge, got stuck, and it ripped my quadriceps tendon straight off the knee.
Oh,
And then yeah, that was it. I was out. Went into surgery 2 days later, emergency surgery, because I had to get the muscles back.
so did your quad just ball up?
Yeah, it went all the way up here and was sitting on top.
Man, that sucks.
That's sore.
Did they, the more morbid side of me wants to know, did they have to use cadaver?
No, luckily so they weave nylon into your muscles, and then they bind that with screws onto your kneecap again, and they pull
Okay.
it back. Yeah, so that stays there forever now. So yeah, kind of sucks.
So if somebody says, Roelf, you've got a screw loose, you can say, no, I'm pretty sure they're still tight.
Oh, there. I got 6 of them now. So yeah,
Wow.
that happened, and yeah, I got over it. It's been next month on the second will be a year, but I'm still in physio, still recovering, not 100%. That's why I'm not even considering doing PRS or anything. I can't do that stuff at the moment.
Well, it's awesome that you're not down and out.
Yeah.
That you're getting around here pretty well. So
Thank you.
thank you for getting well and then coming back to it.
Oh my God.
That could have been gnarly.
Yeah, no, it's in the past that would have been a disability injury. But,
Yeah.
now they have the technology to actually fix it.
Right.
But yeah, if you lose your quadriceps, you can't lift your leg anymore. So that's what happened though.
Yeah. I mean, quad's doing a lot of work.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for the very clever doctors out there. They're able to do that kind of surgery. But yeah, it's
Excellent. Excellent. Well, Roelf, thank you for coming on the Airgun Geeks. We've been wanting to get you on the show for a long time.
no, and it never happened.
Well, it's rare that we get the opportunity to have guests in the flesh. We
Yeah,
usually have to use our technical tools to bridge everybody.
Yeah,
And that comes with its own unique.
but that's what I said before. It's this airguns bring people together, and it's meeting people in the flesh and
Yeah.
people from all over the world
Yeah.
sharing the same passion. I mean, how awesome is that?
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Crazy
It is.
cool. I
Yeah.
love it.
Well, thank you, Roelf.
Thank you very much.
You have a wonderful RMAC 2024.
You
Do
too.
you have any more shooting to do? Or
No, I'm done for the. Yeah, I'm all done. Yeah.
we don't know if Patrick's done or not yet. we haven't heard. We really think they're holding that information
Yeah.
to build the suspense or something.
Yeah.
Because we're like, is Pat going to be in the finals or isn't he? We don't know.
Yeah.
So
Let's see.
we'll find out here soon.
Cool,
But
man.
thank you anyway. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. See you guys.
Hello, fans. We're taking a brief moment to recognize and show our appreciation for the incredible support of our sponsors. Their commitment not only fuels our content, but also ensures we can bring you the very best of the airgun world. Firstly, a huge shout out to Southern Precision Air Weapons. Ken is a master of hard-hitting airgun tunes that deliver unrivaled accuracy. Moving on, we extend our gratitude to High Pressure Pneumatics. Be sure to check out what Tom has going on at his store in Michigan and online as well. Let's not forget the remarkable contribution of Donnie FL. Their innovations in suppressors have revolutionized the experience in the field, combining stealth with performance. A special thanks to GX Compressors as well for their robust and efficient compressors that are an absolute game changer in the pneumatic technology and convenience. Be sure to check out Scout Air Guns for the Epic and the all-new Evo. JSB and Predator International for the finest in airgun projectiles. Affordable, well-made, and fun airgun products from Umarex Airguns. And lastly, we express our sincere appreciation for Saber Tactical. Their tactical gear is not only about strength and durability, it's about taking your airgun experience to the next level. We proudly stand alongside these titans of the airgun industry and invite you, our valued listeners, to explore their outstanding offerings. Supporting our sponsors is directly supporting the Airgun Geeks, enabling us to continue delivering you the content you love and trust. Thank you for being the most essential part of our journey. Your engagement and support make all of this possible. Until next time, stay tuned and keep supporting those who make the Airgun Geeks a reality.
All right. Well, Bill, that was a very good interview. I love the golf to air guns.
Yeah.
That's the way to go. You shouldn't be air guns to golf. Maybe have an air gun in your golf bag. Yeah, down here in Florida, you can shoot the iguanas or
Well,
your partner's ball.
I think there's a joke that air guns are like golf for men.
Mm-hmm. I prefer the air guns. I golf. I mean, I can hit a ball. I haven't hit a house yet, but I'm good. So that was that. I thought that was funny. A nice little lineage for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad to see that, one of the fallouts of the issue with a manufacturer that had some management issues ended up leading to Patriot Slugs going under. That was unfortunate. And it's collateral damage. And I'm hoping that justice comes to the guy that instigated that whole thing.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. It affected a lot of families.
Yeah, but that was very real for a lot of people that went through it.
Correct.
Kudos to Justin Jacobson and his team for wrapping his arms around that ship and putting it back on the track and continuing a great era of airgun development from FX. But yeah, my hat's off to everything that Roelf went through this year. I mean, to lose your business, almost lose the use of your leg with a disconnected quadricep. That's, granted, that's becoming a pretty routine surgery nowadays, but man, that had to be unbelievably painful when that happened. And also freaking you out because you look down and you've got this giant lump where that whole quad is wadded up in a knot up by your hip. I can't imagine that, but
I don't want to imagine that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a good interview. It was cool to see how he got connected to Matt.
Yeah,
and got connected to FX and how that whole lineage went. And I mean, I think it was the way he was talking sounds like life-changing for him and his family.
Yep.
And then his wife Maggie just really shows him up all the time currently.
Oh, she is a demon with an air gun. I mean, just an absolute. She's like the fusion of a diva and a demon all
you
together.
got it.
Like something right out of Japanese anime. I mean,
she's something. And that's one thing about his videos. If you guys haven't seen it, he's got his friends and older family and whatnot out doing this. And he shows you what he tells you, this is what I got in the gun. This is what I did. He's very transparent. It's a very laid back. Roelf is very laid back. So is his wife. And it's just nothing but fun.
Yeah.
But when it came to competitions, like he said, he's like, whatever, you know. Okay, I'm just having fun, you
Yep.
know.
Well, hey,
So
have fun. Don't come in last. Check.
that's the key. Yep, and that's the rules. Yep, and to see that his first air gun was the old FX Wildcat, and what he has now, um, that's a long line, and he can get technical with you,
Oh yeah.
you know. But yeah, he's a fighter. He enjoys life every day,
Yep.
and it's definitely worth watching and subscribing to his channel.
Yep.
So
So you and I have an interesting episode coming up here. It's going to be
yeah,
our Airgun Geeks Christmas Spectacular that we hope to release the week before Christmas. We have the guests all scheduled. I know it's always a jinx to advertise it before you have it in the can, but I'm going to go ahead because I believe that that our guest for this episode is a pretty stand-up guy, and it's Luke from Scout Airguns. He's going to be joining us and giving us a little behind the scenes of what's been going on with Scout in the competition landscape, which they have absolutely upped their game. And as people become more familiar with their platform, they're shooting it better. They're getting better as marksmen, and they are ratcheting their way up to chasing those podium spots. And that is exciting. Absolutely exciting to see. So we're gonna have Luke here for our Christmas special issue, and that's going to be a heck of a lot of fun to shoot. So do join us for that episode.
Yeah, it's going to be tons of fun just to hear about the lineage, how they're listening to you guys out there. I had a nice conversation with Robert Steele at Ken Shoot, and what's been done with the barrels that they're doing now and how they do them. It just a short conversation that Bill and I had with Luke was like, wow, I can't wait till everyone gets to hear that conversation.
I
So
agree.
make sure you tune in for that. That's and those that don't know Luke is a technical guy. He's one of the machinists there. So he's been there from the very beginning of Scout Air Guns. And one of the questions that I'm going to make sure I ask him, Bill, is how old are you? Because you're not going to believe it. And his passion for what he does. He doesn't work 1 minute through the whole work week. You know, I mean, he's there, what?
To put it in perspective, the man is less than half of my age.
Yeah. He is about half my age. Oh my God, I'm getting old.
Oh yeah. He's way less than half of my age. So
yeah.
that to me, he's going to be somebody to watch, and he's also creeping up the towards more podium worthy spots in the
Correct.
competition arena. So, it's always good when the guy who's leading your development, or at least assisting with your development, is also a competitive shooter. He knows what we want.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what we're after. But I would like to point out that buying a Scout isn't only about competing in bench rest. They can be a real hoot. A Scout has won first place at Extreme Bench Rest, not Extreme Bench Rest. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Extreme Field Target.
Yes, they
And
do actually quite well.
that was a pretty high level event that he
Mhm.
was at. That wasn't like a typical Extreme Field Target. That was a Grand Prix level event that he won with that
Mhm.
card. So, we'll get into that more with Luke. We'll let him tell us more about that. But yeah, super delighted to have Luke on the podcast. And also important to note, Scout Airguns is a sponsor of your Airgun Geeks. So big thank you to them for that as well.
Yep, that's a big thank you, because when they reached out to us, I was like, really? I was like, wow. So it was a really big compliment to Bill and I, for them to come on board and say, hey, we're going to help support the channel and go forward. It was very exciting.
Yep.
So some other things that are going on. We got some cool stuff coming up this month in December. You're going to get a fantastic interview with AGM.
Yes.
I'm excited about that because I'm starting to look into thermals now. Because now they're like, oh, let's go do some pig hunts and things like that. And I want to see how it works with iguanas and whatnot. Maybe you could put that on your Crosman. We'll put a little thermal on there and you can shoot rats. So that'd be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm getting a gun built, or I'm building a gun that can shoot slugs. Because now we're getting a whole bunch of people are like, hey, let's talk about different slugs like we did with what was that, Dead Lead?
Hmm.
With Jason. That was
Yep.
fantastic. And Zon's coming out with all sorts of stuff. So we got Zon coming up. An airgun manufacturer that I don't think either of us have played with, and that's RTI. They it's a very simplistic system. And we got one at Palm Beach Airguns, and I've been messing around with it. It's not a bad looking gun. Um, I know who loves those is Orion. Orion, the iguana hunter. He loves them things.
The most telling part for me from that interview, and I don't want to give it away before we get there, but that won't be this episode. It'll be a future episode. But
Mm-hmm.
was his insights on the European performance barrel market space and what
Mm-hmm.
it's like to deal with those companies as a business and as an air gunner, because they are air gunners too. I mean, it's always refreshing when an air gun is being produced and brought to market by people who actually use it. And that's very much the case with them. But that was probably my favorite part of that interview, was hearing about those nuances between, world-class barrel manufacturers in Europe and how they vary in how they deal with their customers, which are the airgun industry and firearms industry too.
Yeah. I watched that video and I was like, to reflect back on that, I was like, wow, I can't wait till this one comes out.
Hmm.
Those are some future episodes that are coming up. They'll be out before the end of the year. So make sure you have your notification bell for all on the YouTube channel for Airgun Geeks and Target Forge. So that way you know when they come out. Of course,
And
check out.
do share,
Yes.
please. There's a little button right below that YouTube view window where you can share that and kick it off to your groups or your peeps. That really helps us get exposure and expand and subscriptions, which is huge.
Yes. Yes. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about in the upcoming year of 2025, any events that are going on that we don't know about, send us an email to airgungeeks@gmail.com. And we would be happy to know about that. You can also check out our new website. We've had it out for a little bit at airgungeeks.com itself. Bill wrote a really cool blog on there about Crosman.
I did.
So there's some of that going on, and we got some ideas that have already come down the line about updating it to make it a lot better.
And there will be another blog entry for the month of December. I've been slacking a little bit. I've been focused on other things, but I do want to get another blog out going into the new year.
Sounds good. And all of you people listening on your Apple podcasts, make sure you give us 5 stars. You can leave a review that gets the algorithm going for Apple. And all of those that have done that already, we greatly appreciate it. All of the support. It is always helpful. And Bill, we are coming up. I was looking at when we started this. We're coming up on our 4th birthday.
Wow.
This January coming up. And we're going to have to do something special for that one. It's absolutely exciting to see where this has gone. When this originally started 4 years ago during a pandemic, and it has grown into a really big podcast. I mean, I have fun with all of this. And like I say all the time, Bill's the video audio editor with this. And when you watch the Roelf video, just to give a little back, there was so much noise from that generator from the truck you see behind them. and you don't hear nothing but them. It's fantastic and very impressive on the technology that you have and the dedication to doing it. That I just want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm appreciative, and I know that you guys are too. So,
Well, thank you very much. I
no.
you know, one of these days I'll have to let people hear what those audio tracks are like before I get started.
You know what? We might have to do a blooper reel because sometimes we get we get into talking about stuff and we didn't hit record. Like this would be great. And it's like we should just hit record and just keep those off to the side for the blooper reels. It'd be a good time.
Yep.
I think that's about it for this week, Bill, unless you got something else.
No, I'm pretty good, Pat.
All right. Well, again, thank you everyone for taking time to watch and listen to Bill and I have these fantastic conversations and spreading the culture of airgunning, old and young. And we greatly appreciate it. So, like always, stay geeky.